Yes, happy morning to you all. So I welcome you all to the second day of AICT sponsored Adel FDP titled on multi-objective optimization and product innovation through TRICE. So hope in the day one sessions you all have enjoyed and you have updated and you have seen the new things with respect to optimization and other life lessons session it was conducted. Okay, and today the day two session four. The title is okay. So day two session optimization using fuzzy logic, and today the session is going to handled by Dr. Sendil Kumar P. So he is assistant professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering at Bannariyaman Institute of Technology, Satyamangalam, and his area of interest are active suspension, active vibration control, intelligent control system, and optimization. And about the research person, Sar has completed his PhD in Anna University in the year 2018, and he has a quantum of 12 years experience in academic and research experience, and he has published more than 10 research articles in international journals, and also he has published 10 more than 10 research articles in international and national conferences. SAR also has published the patent in the title cryogenic dielectric setup for near dry reciprocating in WEDM machining process. And SAR, he is an expertise knowledge in MATLAB, and he has delivered many guest lectures on neural network and this and then fuzzy logic and MATLAB. So on behalf of Sri Shanmugha College of Engineering, Natal Academy, and also on behalf of beloved participants, I welcome Dr. P. Sendil Kumar sir to handle this session.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Let me share my screen first.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir, are you able to see my screen, sir? Hello?
Sir, it is visible, sir.
Oh, yeah. Okay, thank you. So good morning to all of you. I'm Sendil Kumar, faculty in Mechatronics Department, Robotics and Automation Special Laboratory from Bannariyaman Institute of Technology. Today, we are going to discuss about fuzzy logic. In the morning, we will discuss about fuzzy logic. If possible, we will discuss about some hybrid techniques like adaptive neuro-fuzzy inference system. So combination of fuzzy and neural network. Afternoon, I will show you how to use MATLAB for doing optimization-related work. And before going to that presentation, I would like to share some of my experience in the optimization techniques. In BIT, we have a team of 10 faculty members working on intelligent optimization technique. We started working on these areas from 2010 onwards. We published many papers related to fuzzy logic, neural network, particle swarm optimization techniques, genetic algorithm, then ABC, artificial bee colony, and there are around 10 faculty members and around 20 to 30 students. Every time we are working in these areas. Okay, coming to today's topic, this is the outline of my presentation. We will start with introduction to fuzzy logic. Then we will discuss about difference between classical techniques and fuzzy techniques, how fuzzy technique is totally different from classical techniques. Then I will show you the working methodology of fuzzy logic. There are three simple steps in fuzzy logic. You need to do fuzzification, rules based, and defuzzification. So these are the major methodology, step-by-step procedure in fuzzy logic. Whatever the system you want to design, so you can implement fuzzy logic through this simple step-by-step procedure. Finally, I will show you one demonstration of how to use MATLAB for developing fuzzy logic. You can use MATLAB, or you can go with Python, and there are some standard programs already available. But coming to MATLAB, they are in the market for more than 40 years. MATLAB developed all those fuzzy concept in 90s itself. So it's better to go with MATLAB when it comes to fuzzy logic. And we will start with introduction. Okay, here I would like to compare your your FDP title with today's discussion. So multi-objective optimization. There are two kind of research work currently going on in optimization technique. One kind of people, there are a lot of works done on traditional optimization technique. Conventional, we can take it as conventional optimization techniques. There are a lot of works already done on conventional optimization technique with a single objective. Now, the researchers are moving to multi-objective. The same problem they will try to solve using multi-objective, like EDM machines, control system related applications. There are many applications. So whatever the problem we have solved in single objective, now we are working on multi-objective. This is one track. Another track, instead of conventional using conventional optimization techniques, people are started using non-conventional technique, that is intelligent optimization techniques. I hope most of you are doing PhD or going to do PhD, so you must know the difference between which algorithm to choose for your research work. There are different kind of algorithm. If you take this is the one when I started my research work, these are the techniques I have compared. Basically, I am a control engineer. I did my PhD in active suspension system. I have designed an adaptive neurofuzzy inference controller for active suspension system. I hope you all know about active suspension system. It's a kind of advanced suspension system. Currently, RD8 comes with fully loaded active suspension system. Here I used intelligent controller, I mean non-conventional technique. There are two different optimization area: traditional optimization, non-traditional. Traditional means conventional, non-traditional means intelligent technique. So what is the main difference between conventional and intelligent? In conventional means model based. You need a mathematical model, you need an equation. Without equation, you can't solve any problem in your conventional optimization technique. Whereas in intelligent optimization, non-conventional, there is no need of mathematical model. It is called model free. Currently, artificial intelligence, data science, Internet of Things are developing very fast because of this development. Because one of the main reason for this development, intelligent techniques. It's a model free technique. Once you have data, you can easily do optimization. So that is why we prefer model free intelligent technique. Here I compared different intelligent techniques, particularly model free, because in this topic we are going to focus mainly on intelligent techniques, intelligent controller or intelligent systems or smart system. Here I would like to compare neural network, fuzzy logic, and other artificial intelligence techniques, genetic algorithm. Probably you heard about all these techniques: fuzzy logic, neural network. So what is the difference between fuzzy logic and neural network? So when will you use fuzzy logic or when will you use neural network? So this is very, very important. Since you know about fuzzy logic, so I can use fuzzy logic in my work. It's not like that. So first you must know whether my system need fuzzy logic or neural network, whether my system need genetic algorithm, or I can go with particle swarm optimization technique, or there are many techniques. So you have to choose a technique based on your system performance or based on your expectation. If you take fuzzy logic, it's very simple logic, and that's why it is easy. But neural network, complex, that's why it is difficult. So you can't design a neural network just like fuzzy logic. Then uh, what is the advantage of fuzzy logic? It's simple and easy, whereas neural network complex and difficult. Then why do we use neural network? It has an ability of learning. It has a learning capacity, whereas fuzzy logic, there is no learning capacity. So this is one of the main reason why we are going to non-traditional technique. What is the difference between non-traditional and classical optimization technique? In classical optimization technique, there is no learning factors. But if you use neural network, that you have a learning facility. So whenever a system change its performance, then the neural network will adapt to that performance. We can call it as adaptive feature. Another name for learning, adaptive. Adaptive means the system the algorithm that you have designed can adapt to your network. That's why it is called intelligent optimization technique. This is one of the main reason why we are moving to neural network. If you take fuzzy logic, it has learning, but not like neural network. So you can take it as less learning facility, or you can take it as no learning facility. So that is the reason for moving to neural network. But still we prefer fuzzy logic because we can easily control fuzzy logic. Here in fuzzy logic, everything represented in clear manner. It's an approximate technique. That's why it will give you a quick result. It will give quick result. If you want to find an answer within a second, then you can easily use fuzzy logic. There are many places. For example, most of the optimization technique, what we do is offline. We take reading, we do processing, then we will give you we will show you the result. But in many places like brake, clutch, gears, and suspension system, in most of the automotive system, we need optimization in real time. Whatever the thing we want to do, it has to be done within a second. Okay, in that case, you can't depend on neural network every time. That's why we use fuzzy logic. So fuzzy logic, it's a quick, it will give you result milliseconds compared to neural network, whereas neural network take some time to give response. So these are some of the advantages and limitation of different techniques, fuzzy and neural network. Then why do we prefer? Is there any difference between these two technique and classical technique? Classical, there are a lot of classical optimization techniques. Probably you will know all those techniques in the coming discussions. So if you compare those classical techniques with intelligent technique, one of the main advantage, learning. There is a learning facility available in intelligent technique. It can adapt to an environment, but this is not possible in classical technique. Is there any other advantage? Yes, still you have an advantage. For example, you can easily combine two intelligent technique. So participant, please listen this carefully. Most of the time, when you do PhD, your guide will instruct, see, this is the work we have done. So you try to find an area similar to this one, and you find extra problem to work out based on this condition. Like that, they will give you. Okay, instead of moving to, see, already some work has been done on single objective. Instead of going to multi-objective, still you have lot of option in single objective itself. So what are those options? You can combine two intelligent techniques. For example, you already published a paper in fuzzy based controller. For some DC motor, you can take fuzzy and neural network. You can combine these two techniques, you can publish paper easily. So that is possible in intelligent technique, but this is not possible in classical. You can't combine two classical techniques just like that, because classical techniques are based on pure mathematics. There isn't a theorem or algorithm behind classical techniques. So without satisfying those algorithms, you can't combine two classical techniques. Whereas in intelligent technique, it's a model free technique. You can easily combine two technique. I will give you an example. Classical, intelligent technique. So you can combine neural network with fuzzy logic. Probably, I think Saravanan sir will discuss about genetic algorithm. You can combine genetic algorithm with neural network. You can combine fuzzy logic with genetic algorithm. So whatever the combination you want, you can combine. You will publish paper. You can get better result because it's a model free technique. You don't need any mathematical model. But this is not the case in classical. You take technique 1, technique 2. You can use separately, but you can't combine two technique and you won't get better result. So that is the problem in classical technique. When it comes to optimization, I know that most of you mechanical engineer, you may have some objective function constraint, okay, for your problem. You want to get better optimization result for your problem. This is a case in mechanical. But if you take EEE and EC faculty, they won't work with much objective function and constraints. They have data. They do some experiment. They will produce some data. They want to optimize those data. So in that case, you can directly use these techniques. If you are a mechanical engineer and working on only objective and constraint, what you can do is you can use either genetic algorithm or PSO, particle swarm optimization kind of techniques. In that, you can use fuzzy logic as a hybrid technique. So fuzzy plus GA, you can try one new hybrid technique. So we can call it as hybrid algorithm. So this is another trend in current area. So instead of simply working on single objective to multi-objective, still there is a lot of scope in single objective itself. By combining some hybrid techniques, you can publish paper, or you can take your multi-objective, then you can apply these hybrid techniques. That is like neural network fuzzy or neural network genetic algorithm or fuzzy plus GA or fuzzy plus PSO. Like that you can combine. So these are some of the advantage of intelligent techniques. And coming to fuzzy logic, why we prefer fuzzy logic compared to genetic algorithm, neural network, we can easily combine fuzzy logic with other technique. Say you take neural network and genetic algorithm. It's very difficult to combine these two, because neural network based on modeling of human brain. I mean, it's a kind of feed forward networks. There are some networks, it based on that. Genetic algorithm is based on mutation principle. So both are little bit difficult compared to fuzzy logic. Whereas fuzzy logic is based on probability. You can easily use probability in whatever the algorithm you use. So fuzzy logic has an ability to integrate with any algorithm. Even you can use fuzzy logic in your conventional system, if possible. Conventional algorithm. I have seen few paper, they have used fuzzy logic in the conventional system. But you must be remember one more thing. You should not use fuzzy logic in the places where you need accurate result. There are some places where you need accurate result. So in that case, don't use fuzzy logic. You won't get accurate result in fuzzy logic. So this is the only thing you have to remember. Then you are implementing in real time. So I want to implement my algorithm in real time. I want to see the result in milliseconds, seconds online. Then you can use fuzzy logic. So this is the same thing I have explained here. If you take neural network and fuzzy logic, do you need a mathematical model for neural network? No, unsuitable. There is no need of mathematical model. Fuzzy logic, okay, if you have mathematical, it's okay to go with fuzzy logic. Take learning data. Is there any learning facility in neural network? Yes. You give approximate data, the neural network learn and it will give better result. But in fuzzy logic, there is no learning facility. Everything you have to design. You are the designer. You are the designer of fuzzy logic. You have to give everything about the system. If you don't know anything about the system, don't use fuzzy logic. Suppose you are using fuzzy logic to control some parameter in wire ADM machine. Without knowing about wire ADM machine, you should not use fuzzy logic. But this is not the case in neural network, because it has a learning facility. Even if you don't know about how to control the system, still you can use neural network. So this is very, very important. There is a learning facility in neural network, whereas in fuzzy logic, there is no learning facility. Then real time. If you want to implement in real time, fuzzy logic, good. Neural network, it's not good. It depends on system. For a simple system, you can easily implement. For complex system, you need a higher end processor to implement neural network. Knowledge representation. This is very, very important. You can represent fuzzy logic all the parameters in terms of if else logic. If the condition is A, then execute B. If the condition is C, then execute D. Like that, you can define everything clearly in fuzzy logic. Even if you want to understand the system, you go through your fuzzy logic, you can understand. I will show you the knowledge representation in MATLAB software during the demonstration, but you can't understand neural network. So you have designed a system, neural network based algorithm, and you want to go inside to understand what is happening in neural network. You can't understand anything. It's a kind of network. It's a way of mapping the human brain. So you can't understand anything from just by seeing the neural network. So knowledge representation unsuitable. So why should I worry about what is happening inside the system? So this is very, very important. Okay. If you want to control the system, then you must know the knowledge representation. If you don't know what is happening inside the system, then there is a possibility of failure. You can't give guarantee whether the system works perfectly or not. That's why we are using unsuitable, knowledge representation. Another one, non-linearity. This is very, very important. Most of our research work, current research work, involves non-linear parameter. Okay, we will introduce, say for example, one of my friend then PhD in active suspension system, he used linear parameter. I simply changed that linear parameter into non-linear, and then you can do the same work. Okay, same linear. Only thing is that is linear. You simply changed that linear parameter into non-linear. Again, you do the remaining work. You can publish paper. So neural networks works very well for non-linearity. So this is the only algorithm, neural network and genetic algorithm, good for non-linearity. If you take fuzzy logic, it's not good. See, actually, it's not good. Compared to neural network, this will be less fuzzy logic. Whereas genetic algorithm will give better result. So whenever you deal with non-linear parameter, use neural network or genetic algorithm. Okay, so you can't use fuzzy logic alone in optimization. That's why it is unsuitable. But you can combine fuzzy logic with neural network, then it will give better optimization result. You can combine fuzzy logic with genetic algorithm, then it will give better result. So that is the meaning of unsuitable. Okay, so this is the overall layout of different optimization techniques. So we in BIT, we have been working on fuzzy logic, neural network, genetic algorithm, multi-objective genetic algorithm, then PSO, particle swarm optimization technique, then ABC, artificial bee colony, then some new algorithms like Firefly algorithm. There are a few more algorithms. Okay, so these are the algorithm that we have been working in the last 10 years. Particularly, I'm working on fuzzy NN based systems. In that, there is a hybrid technique called ANFIS. So we have been using ANFIS for the past 6 to 7 years. We started using ANFIS in 2014. Still, we are using ANFIS on most of our systems, whether it is mechanical, electrical, or computer science, still it give better results. So this is an overall comparison of system. So you must know this difference. Without knowing difference, simply using fuzzy logic or neural network to your research problem won't give better result. Okay, so now we will move on to introduction of fuzzy logic. There are some paradox statements in real world. Let us take this example. All girls are liar, said by a girl. And let me divide this statement into two. All girls are liars, statement 1, said by a girl. You take statement 1 as true, but you compare statement 2 with 1. All girls are liar, said by a girl. The statement told by a girl. So there is a possibility for this statement to be wrong. So this is called paradox statement. You can't say this statement as true or false. There are many real world, for example, in multi-objective MCQ test, we will ask student to select best one, true or false, ones and zeros, or yes or no, right or wrong. So these are some digital logics, but here you can't say it as true or false. If you take statement 1 alone, it is true. If you compare statement 2 with statement 1, then it may be false. So you can't say it's a true or false. This is called paradox statement. Similarly, this statement is false. This is statement 1. If you see the meaning of the statement, then this sentence may be wrong. Okay, then you can't consider this statement is false. Similarly, I never tell the truth. That statement told by myself. So there is a possibility that that statement itself wrong. Okay, these are all paradox statement. So how do you use this situation in real world? If you come across this kind of situation, how do you use this kind of how do you solve this kind of problem? So it leads to a development of fuzzy logic. So what is fuzzy logic? It's a logical system. So like digital logic, fuzzy is a kind of logic. It's an extension of multi-value logic. Digital means we represent everything in digital in terms of 0 and 1. Whereas in fuzzy, we represent everything in between 0 to 1, 0, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, or whatever the value in between you can take. Possible values you can take. So that's why it is called multi-valued logic. So what is actually there in fuzzy logic? Fuzzy logic is based on theory of fuzzy set, like probability, the theory which relates the class of object with unsharp boundaries. So this is very, very important. There are some unsharp boundaries in real world. Okay, we compare those unsharp boundaries with membership function. So the membership function plays a major role in fuzzy logic. If you take digital logic, membership function, we use this symbol mu. Okay, if digital logic means there are two possible, 1, 0. So membership function 1. So 1 means true, 0 means wrong. 1 means yes, 0 means no. But there are many cases in real world we can say whether it is yes, no, 1, 0, like that. So in those cases comes under fuzzy logic. I will give you one simple example. This is a difference between classical set and fuzzy set. Here I would like to represent the strong fever in human body. So just look at this diagram. 37.2 degrees Celsius represent normal fever. 38 normal, 38.7 normal. This particular region, gray region, represent strong fever. See here, it represents strong fever. 39.3 comes under strong fever. 40.1 degree comes under strong fever. 42.42 degrees Celsius comes under strong fever. So this is a representation of classical set. Whereas in fuzzy, you see the difference. There is a variation of color, intensity of color. We are using the intensity of color to represent the strong fever. So 37.2 degrees Celsius, somewhere here. 38 degrees Celsius here, 41.4. See the difference of intensity of color. So that intensity of color will be used to represent the fuzzy set. So this is 0 and this is 1. This is somewhat in between, 0.5. This is 0.7, like this. That's why it is called multi-valued logic. Multi-value logic. So this is a main difference between classical and fuzzy set. We are using this kind of representation in our system. So fuzzy means multi-value. There will be a membership function. Okay, that membership function vary between 0 to 1. Okay, so the history of fuzzy logic. Fuzzy logic was introduced in 1965 by Professor Professor Zadeh from faculty in electrical engineering, University of Berkeley. He's still working in University of Berkeley. He presented fuzzy logic in a seminar paper. Okay, basically he is from electrical engineering department. During that time in 1965, they have designed some sensors for their in their laboratory. But the problem with that sensor, the sensor takes some interference. So what do you mean by sensor? You take microphone is a kind of sensor. It takes signal from the external environment. While taking the audio signal, it will also take noise. Okay, so they have developed fuzzy logic along with sensor. They have implemented fuzzy logic along with sensor. What happened? The fuzzy logic is an approximate technique. That approximate technique take only the audio signal. It reject the noise signal. Imagine you are sending a value 38 where the noise is 0.5. This is just an understanding purpose. Don't take it as a serious one. 38, 38.5. So you will get 38.5. When you apply fuzzy logic on 38.5, you will get 38. So what do you mean by 38? Only the actual signal. So this is how they started working on fuzzy logic. They have used fuzzy logic as a filter to remove noise from the sensor. This is how they started using fuzzy logic. In 1970, first application of fuzzy logic appeared in control system. That is in Europe. But there are a lot of controversies in 1970 after the introduction of fuzzy logic in control system. Because before 1970, everybody working on pure mathematics. Mathematics means accurate. But fuzzy means approximate. So the people who are working in classical technique, they won't accept fuzzy logic. They still told it's an approximate technique. Why are you using this technique? So go with some other technique. So like that, they started, they are against fuzzy logic. So nobody used fuzzy logic after 1970s. Then the entire fuzzy logic moved into Japan in 1975. In Japan, they introduced fuzzy logic in 1975. In 1980, some verification works has been done in fuzzy logic in Europe. Then 1985, broad application of fuzzy logic appeared in Japan. After 1970, nobody in Europe or US used fuzzy logic. Okay, only Japan started using fuzzy logic. They introduced a product like washing machine, so many applications. Then 90s, broad application of fuzzy logic appeared. Again, 1995, fuzzy logic accepted in US. See the difference. 1970 to 1995. So around 80, 90, 25 years. There is no work related to fuzzy logic in Western countries. Okay, particularly Europe and US. Because most of them worked on control system, PID kind of works. Then in 1995 onwards, they accepted. So fuzzy logic became a standard technology in 2000. Now you can see a journal, IEEE journal in the name of fuzzy logic. So it happened in 2000 only. After that, there are a lot of works going on, sensor, signal processing, data, even optimization techniques. So now we mechanical, electrical engineer, other department disciplines started using fuzzy logic only after 2005. If you see the history, I mean literature, there is no work in mechanical engineering related to fuzzy logic before 2005. After 2005 only, people started using fuzzy logic in our research work like mechanical, mechatronics, automobile, and other system, aeronautical, because it's a simple, easy, but only problem approximate. So there are many examples I can say. For example, you are driving a car and you want to take, there is a vehicle moving in front of you. If you want to overtake that vehicle, so what will you do? You have to move with high speed. Okay, so in that case, is it possible for you to tell the exact distance between your two vehicle? It's very difficult. It's an approximate. We guess some value. So this is a value. When we go with this distance, we can easily cross that vehicle. Like that we decided. So in real world, there are many approximation we do. Our human brain completely based on approximation techniques. Okay, so you have to identify whether we need that approximation technique or not. But after 2000, IEEE accepted the fuzzy logic. Then there are a lot of developments are currently going on related to fuzzy logic. So this is how the classical set looks like. In classical, we use membership function of 0, 1. For example, A is a set where the elements are apple, orange, cherries, and mangoes. If you take the membership function of apple, 1, orange, 1, cherries, 1, mangoes, 1. If you take any other fruits other than these four, then the membership function 0. So very simple. See here, A, 2, 4, 6, 8. What is the membership function of element 3? This is an even number. So 3 does not belong to A. So in that case, membership function of 3 equal to 0. Either in or out. If an element belongs to A, then membership function 1. If the element does not belongs to A, then membership function 0. That's it. It's a very simple. So this is how the membership function look like. 1, 0. It's a kind of digital logic. That's what we say classical set. But in fuzzy set, this is a representation of classical set. But in fuzzy set, it's an extension of classical set in which membership function values lies between 0 to 1. So here we have a membership function. This is 0. This is 1. The red color represent classical set. That blue color, the white, yellow color represent fuzzy set. Imagine a vehicle or a bike moving on 100 kilometers per hour speed. So this is speed limit. We are setting a speed limit of 100 kilometer. Okay, so this is speed. Okay, for example, if you want to identify a bike which is going on more than 100 kilometers per hour, imagine a vehicle moving with a speed of 99.5 kilometers per hour. So that will comes under a membership function of 0. Here membership function 0, but 100.2, then the membership function 1. So this is called classical set. So imagine you are a police officer and you want to identify a vehicle moving at 100 kilometers per hour. If somebody move with a speed of 99.5 kilometer per hour, if you are using classical technique, you can't find that vehicle. But logically speaking, 99.5 kilometers per hour almost equal to 100 kilometers per hour. Okay, but if so, how do you will leave this person and you will find this person 100.2, but both are almost equal. There is no much difference between 99.5 to 100.2. So how do you identify the common sense of human logic? For that, we are going for fuzzy set. Or otherwise, I can say another example. 50 is a pass mark. Someone scored 49. Someone scored 51. As per our current grading system, 50 pass, 51 also pass, but 49 fail. But according to our common sense, all these three persons are equal. If you compare the person who scored 49, the person who scored 50 and 51, all are same in terms of knowledge. So we have to give equal weightage to all these 3%. But we are right now we are not giving that kind of logics. So but in fuzzy logic we will give that equal weightage to 49, 50 and 51. So that is the difference. For example, here, so this is a membership function value. So this is called multi-value. So what will happen when a vehicle moves at 50 kilometers per hour, membership function 0. 70 kilometers per hour, 60 kilometers, membership function 1. 70 kilometers, membership function 5. 80 kilometers, membership function 8. 90 kilometers, membership function 9. Then 100 kilometers, membership function 1. Imagine a person riding a bike at 70 kilometers per hour. That 0.5 represent 50% belongs to low speed. Then 50% belongs to high speed. Take 0 as a low speed, 1 as a high speed. So this is how we represent in everything in fuzzy logic. If you are riding a bike at 70 kilometers per hour means 50% belongs to low speed, 50% belongs to high speed. 80 means 80% belongs to high speed, 20% belongs to low speed. So this is a kind of probability we are using. So membership function plays a major role in fuzzy logic. So this is very, very important. So this is how the fuzzy logic works in real time. So how do you represent membership function? So this is a way of representing membership function. Actual value divided by that membership function value. So with this detail, just a minute. My PowerPoint. Just a minute. Okay. So now I will give you one simple example so that you can. So before you apply fuzzy logic, is it really possible to apply fuzzy logic in your research work? That you have to find out. Okay, so now we will move on to working method. Once you decided to work on fuzzy logic, you have to do 3-step procedure: fuzzification, rules based, defuzzification. Suppose we will take temperature control. Can I use fuzzy logic on temperature control? So first we have to decide. So how do you represent? So there is a parameter called linguistic variable that you have to find out. If there is a linguistic variable in your research work or research problem, then you can use fuzzy logic. What do you mean by linguistic variable? Let me tell you with another example. Student performance. Okay, how do you measure student performance? Good student, below average student, average student, brilliant student. So these are all called linguistic variable. In terms, we are telling the performance of the student, academic performance of the student in terms of these variables. I can say 70%, 80%, 90%, but we are not using that term. We will use the term brilliant student, average student, below average student, like that. So these are all called linguistic variable. Then again, temperature, I can say age. How do you represent age? Young age, middle age, old age. So these are all called linguistic variable. So there must be a linguistic variable in your research problem. Then only you can use fuzzy logic. Otherwise, it will become difficult. For example, temperature, less temperature, medium temperature, high temperature, or we can say cold, hot, medium. So we will use the word like this. So these words represent linguistic variable. So you must have a linguistic variable in your research problem. Then only you can use fuzzy logic. Because most of the time, what will happen, imagine in your problem, there is no need of, imagine you are using two technique, technique 1, technique 2. Technique 1, conventional technique. There are a lot of matrix based techniques, optimization techniques. Technique 2, intelligent technique. Okay, but both techniques are not needed for your problem. There is no need to use T1 to your problem. When you use technique 1, you won't get optimized result. So you have selected wrong technique. What will happen? You will get error. You won't get result. This is what happened in conventional technique. Imagine you have selected one technique and you are applying that technique to your problem, optimization problem. If you are not getting proper result means, what does it mean? You made some mistake on your technique, but this won't happen in intelligent technique. You will get an error. But if you use fuzzy or neural network in your optimization problem, still you have selected wrong technique. This is also wrong, but you will get a result. You will get some answer. So that is a problem. So it mean, so you might imagine, you say you are getting a result means it's not just a minute. You have selected technique properly because it's a model free technique. Model free technique means it does not depends on mathematical model. So whatever you give, it will give answer. Okay, you must be very careful when you are using an intelligent technique like GA, particle swarm optimization techniques. There are many techniques. So once you use these techniques, you surely you will get a result. But whether the result is acceptable or not, that you have to find out based on your problem. So now we will move on to simple example. So we will take this simple example. So here I will tell you how to do this control problem. So we want to control the temperature of plant. So this is a case. Control the temperature of room by changing the speed of fan. When the set point is defined for some reason, the temperature is cold, then we need to slow down the speed of fan. Okay, imagine you are setting a temperature of 25 degrees Celsius. Okay, but already you have 24 degrees Celsius, then there is no need of fan. So you have to slow down this fan. But if the temperature is hot, then we need to increase the speed of fan. Okay, you are getting 27 degrees Celsius, but we need 25 degrees Celsius. So there is an increase in temperature. Then we can reduce this temperature by increasing the speed of the fan. So this is a condition we have to do. But for this purpose, we are going to use fuzzy logic. So there is a 3-step process: fuzzification, inference mechanism, and defuzzification. So this is a 3-step process that we have to do. So I will explain about fuzzy, inference, and defuzzification one by one. But the question is, do I really need all these technique to control this fan? Imagine we have a fan in our home where we are not using any regulator. Where we are using regulator, not fuzzy logic. Why? So the question is, do I really need fuzzy logic to control the speed of the fan? For example, in your home, you have only 3 possibilities. You have a regulator with 0, 1, 2, 3. 0 means speed 0, 1 means 100 RPM, 2 means 200 RPM, 3 means 300 RPM. Suppose if you want to run a fan at 250 RPM, it is not possible by your conventional regulator. Similarly, if you want to run your fan at 150 RPM, still it is not possible by fuzzy logic, but it is possible, by conventional regulator, but it is possible by using fuzzy logic. So whenever you want an optimized result in our conventional system, then you can go with fuzzy logic. Then why do I need fuzzy logic? Imagine there are many types of logic. I can use any of the logic, Why should I use exactly fuzzy logic? Because if you use exactly fuzzy logic, you can get the result quickly. Then the logic is very simple. What do you mean by simple? If it is simple, means low cost. That's why Japanese introduced fuzzy logic in washing machine. The cost of the washing machine maximum 25,000. We can go up to 50,000. So we can't use higher end controller for washing machine. Okay, so that's why they have used simple logics like fuzzy logic. Okay, so these are the two important questions comes to your mind when it comes to temperature control. See, this is for your understanding. I have used one input, one output system. Okay, but in reality, it's not like that. In reality, whenever you want to control a temperature, you need to also consider about humidity. There are so many parameters. You can't control temperature just by controlling one parameter. There are more than 2 to 3 parameters. But for understanding purpose, I have used one input, one output system. So this is for your understanding. Okay, so first we have to do fuzzification. Imagine, before that I will explain what is the need of fuzzy logic. 30 degrees Celsius, this is what I want, but I have 35 degree Celsius. So it will come here. So there will be a sensor that will measure the temperature and it will give to this point 35 degrees Celsius. But I need 30, error 5. So that 5 goes into fuzzification. Suppose I need 30, what will happen? 34.5 degrees Celsius, again error 4.5. If it is 34, error 4. So the values lies, for example, maximum temperature 40. It will never go beyond 40. Imagine like this. So 30 to 40, there are many possibilities. 10 degrees Celsius. So I can divide all these 10 degrees Celsius in terms of 0.1. 30, 30.1, 30.2, 30.3, 30.4, like that up to 40 I can go. Okay, so there are many values. I can get more than 500 values, 1000 values, possible values. If there is no fuzzy, imagine there is no fuzzy logic. You are using conventional method and trying to control the temperature of the fan. So what will happen? There are many possible values. If you write, what will you do? You will use if temperature difference is 34.5. Okay, then take action. Enna pannu? Fan of the speed of the fan, say for example 200 rpm, like that we will set. If the temperature difference is 34, then action you have to give manually for each and every value. 34 point, for example, just a minute. So this is 30, 35. So difference 5 degrees Celsius. So 5 degrees Celsius means 300 rpm. 4 degrees Celsius means 200 rpm. So what will happen if it is 4.5? This should be 250. 4.3 degrees Celsius, 100. So like that, you have to give each and every difference, you have to give value. It's very difficult. You have to write lot of if else, but we can still write, but it takes lot of value. So instead of doing that, we are using fuzzy logic. Here, we are classifying into all these differences into different values. So actually we are getting error. We are not temperature difference, we are using error. We are classifying error into linguistic variable. Most of the time, any optimization problem, you take any optimization problem, error is one of the factor. So there is an equation. you do a lot of trials. You take one trial, you will get an answer. You will compare the answer with the actual answer. Then this is an error. 1. Then again you will take different value. You will get a result. Compare the result with actual result. You will get an error of 0.5. So like that you will go up to you reach 0 or 0.001. Once it reaches 0.001, we will stop the algorithm. Then we will produce the result. So error is one of the important parameter in all optimization algorithm. So wherever you use error as one of the parameter, then you can directly use fuzzy logic at this point. Okay, so now this error, now I'm going to classify that error into linguistic variable. 3 variables I'm going to use. So let me draw it here. 3 linguistic variable. What are those variables? Here. I'm representing that variable in the name of hot, very hot, cold. So these variables are represented by hot. Sorry, this is very hot, hot, cold. If the error is very small, we can consider it as hold. If the error is close, negative, I mean, negative means very hot, positive means cold. And then if the error is close to 0 means we can take it as hot. This is a condition. So here we can represent. What is fuzzification? It is a process of creating fuzzy set from vague data. Here I have vague data. There are different data, 32, 35. I can get any value, huge number of values. Sometimes here it is only 5 degrees Celsius, but in many cases the range is 4 to 4000. So in between I can get many values. So I can't write rules for each and every value, so that we can go to fuzzy logic. So we are here, we are converting, we are using linguistic variable. So what is linguistic variable? It's an expression which is used to classify the particularly here it is used to classify the temperature. We are classifying temperature as hot, very hot, cold. Instead of temperature, let me take it as error, so that you can understand clearly. This is 0 error. Here it is medium. Just a minute. I think I have used only cold, medium, hot. Medium. Anyway, we will use temperature. Cold, hot. Okay, if the temperature difference lies in between this region 0 to 0.5 to 0.5, it will be considered as medium. If the temperature is positive, then it is cold. If it is negative, then we can take it as hot. Then I have to change the speed of the fan. Speed, there are 3 options: low, medium, high. This is a range. Low speed means 0 to 30. Medium speed means 15 to 45. Maybe you can take it as RPM. High speed means 30 to 60. Here, this overlap is very, very important. Imagine you are saying that there is no overlap between one variable to another variable. Then there is no need of using fuzzy logic. Fuzzy means approximation. I will give one example. You take Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. There is no relation between Monday and Wednesday, because in between we have one complete day, Tuesday. But you compare only Monday and Tuesday. So Monday 11 p.m. around 12 p.m. Then you will start Tuesday. Okay, imagine you are sleeping at Monday 10 p.m. Okay, so that day it's all over. Monday over, and again Tuesday will start from morning. Maybe you will wake up at 7 p.m., 7 a.m. So your Tuesday will start from 7 p.m. So that is a relation, close relation, overlap between Monday and Tuesday. But there is no overlap between Monday and Wednesday. Okay, so this is very, very important. So why I'm saying that, imagine an object in hot temperature. You want to reduce the temperature. What will happen? First, that object moves from hot to medium temperature, then medium to cold. So this is a process. So this is how the process will move. Imagine the object in hot temperature. It doesn't move to cold just like that. Okay, without going into medium. So this is very, very important. So the flow will be one hot to medium, then medium to cold. Like that it will move. So that's why we are using hot, medium, cold. You can change this range for you can. That's why you need a knowledge of system. So the entire concept of fuzzy logic based on knowledge representation. Without, you must imagine you are using fuzzy logic and wire ADM machine, means you must know each and every parameter, how those parameter vary in real world related to ADM. Then only you can use. So you have to select this slope. This slope represent membership function. That is very, very important. I already told about membership function. That is membership function CA. This is a membership function. Okay. So this is a membership function. Triangular membership function. Instead of that, you can use bell shape. It will move like this. There are different shapes. You can, but this is one of the standard shape. Each shape has some advantage. For example, if you take triangular, the problem is peak. Suddenly it will reach peak and then it will come down. If you apply differentiation at this point, you will get peak value. Sir, I don't want a sudden peak. I need a gradual improvement, gradual decrease. Then you can go with bell shape. So you don't need to choose all those things. Everything available in MATLAB. It's a graphical based approach. So this is for temperature. The same thing applicable to error. If it is error, zero error, negative error, positive error. Compare with previous value. I need 30, but I am getting 35. What does it mean? Positive error. I need 30, but I am getting 25. So this is called negative error. So you can use temperature or error. Both are. If there is a temperature limit, then you can go with error. Almost all mechanical problem, whenever you measure something, then there is a possibility of error as a linguistic variable. So error is an example for linguistic variable. You can represent error as zero error, positive small zero, negative error, positive error. 3. If you want to represent it in terms of 3 to 4, small positive, medium positive, high positive error. Similarly, 0, small negative error, medium negative error, high negative error. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 linguistic variables. So you need to draw 7 triangles. Whereas here we are using only 3 triangles. Because we are using only 3. Okay, again for speed, we are using 3. If you want 6, you can use. It depends on the range of speed that you want to control. Next, rules base. Once you decided the parameters, this is an input parameter, this is an output parameter, we have to set the rule. If temperature is cold, then reduce the speed of this fan. If the temperature is medium, then the speed of this fan is medium. If the temperature is hot, then the speed of the fan is high. So this is a logic, simple logic, but for your research work, you may use complex logic. You have to make this logic. This is very, very important. But if you are using neural network means the neural network create this logic. I have used both neural network and fuzzy logic in my research work. First, I have written a rules like this for active suspension. Then I verified whether the rules are right or wrong using neural network. I got a result similar to what I got in neural network. I got some result in fuzzy logic. Then I compared the result with neural network. Both are same. Then I can say that, yes, I have written the rule properly. But if you see neural network, you can't find any rules like this. That is a problem. Suppose you somebody have designed the fuzzy logic, and now I want to use that fuzzy logic concept. If I open that file, I can find this rules in fuzzy logic. But this is not the case in neural network. Somebody designed a neural network and they are giving it to me. If I open that neural network file, I can't find any rules like this. So that is a problem in, that is why it is called knowledge representation. You can use any rule. This is an if, this is an execution. Condition, statement, condition, action. If temperature is medium, then you have to execute. If the temperature is hot, then you have to execute. So this is 3 steps, simple, but for complex problem, you have to write more than 40, sometimes 100 rules you have to write. Then you have to map these rules on this membership function. Let me tell you how to map this. So that mapping will be done in defuzzification. So defuzzification means what? Look at this diagram. So why we need fuzzy logic? There are 4,000 datas. 30 to 30 I want, but I am getting 35. So 30 to 35, there are 4,000 datas. I can't write if-else rules for all the 4,000 values. That's why I'm going to fuzzy. I'm converting this 4,000 values into 3 value, 3, 6, or 25, whatever it may be. It depends on number of membership function. Then I am writing only 3 rules. So fuzzification means converting vague data into fuzzy data. Okay, so during the fuzzification, what will happen? See this is a vague data. Where is the vague data? This is my vague data. 30 to 35, I can get number of values. That I am converting into fuzzy data using this membership function. Once you convert that membership function, you are writing rules. Here. 3 linguistic variable means 3 rules. Maximum I can write 9 rules, but here for understanding, I'm using only 3 rules. Only have written 3 rules. Then you have to do defuzzification. What is the need of defuzzification? Imagine this is an actual data. You have done applied fuzzy logic, then you converted into fuzzy data, then you have applied the rules, then you got result. If you connect the result directly to the plant, it won't work properly because this is not an actual data. Because you converted an actual data into fuzzy data. Again, you have to, this is a result in terms of fuzzy. Again, you have to convert your fuzzy data into real data. That's why you are using defuzzification. So defuzzification means what? It's a process of converting value into actual vague value. I mean, crisp value. There are many methods, centroid method, bisect method, whatever the method you want, you can use. But we normally use centroid method. Let me tell you how to use centroid method here. Here, I'm going to map those values. I'm going to, this is what we have done in step 1. Now I'm going to apply rules. Imagine I'm getting an error of 0.2. So what does it mean, 0.2? See here, 30 I want, but I'm getting 30.2. What does it mean? There is an error of 0.2, or you take it as 29.8. There is an error of 0.2, negative. That I am marking here. Okay, error 0.2. Draw a line, vertical line. Okay, So it will cut this membership function here and here. This is 0.4. We are taking some value. This is 0.7. This is 1. Now I'm going to map, apply rules, a rules base. Step 2. So step 1, this diagram. Step 2, now I'm going to apply step 2. So first I'm mapping. So mapping means that green color line. So this is a starting point to this is an end point. How can I apply this line? Very simple. See here. If the temperature is, what is the rule? If the temperature is cold, then the speed is low. If the this is a cutting point. Okay. If the temperature is low, then the speed is low. So I can take this line up to this. I can hatch this portion. Temperature is low means speed also low. If the temperature is medium means this is a second cutting point. My speed also medium. So I can go up to this point. Again, I can hatch this portion. The line below the triangle. I can hatch this portion. So now centroid means what? I need to find out centroid of this triangle. This triangle. I need to find the centroid of this triangle. So this is an answer. This is a defuzzified value. Okay. So the answer for this problem lies somewhere. Let me select different color. So that let me take blue color. Here it is 15. This line 30. Okay, I'm telling you that the answer will lie CG somewhere in between 15 and 30. Let me check. Just take a triangle. So how do you find the centroid of the triangle? The centroid of the triangle lies along the symmetric. Okay, so this is triangle 1. You take second triangle, medium. Okay, again, the first triangle, we removed top portion. We just remove top portion. Now tell me where is centroid? Still the centroid lies on the same line because we have removed equal amount on both sides. Okay, so still you will get a centroid along the, just a minute. Participant, are you able to hear my presentation clearly?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So still you will get a centroid on the same point. I will explain one more time so that you will get it. So what I'm trying to explain is there are some softwares. Once you apply those things, it will give you answer. But unless you understand what is happening exactly inside the software, you can't solve all the problem. So I started using fuzzy logic in 2012. Okay, someone in my team told me to learn fuzzy logic, and one professor in 2012 explained me the how to use how to apply fuzzy logic in MATLAB. Then I started applying fuzzy logic in all my problem. But still, at the end of 2013 only, I understand what is actually happening inside the system. I thought that software will give answer, so we simply put value and we take output. But for few problems, we unable to get answer because I didn't understand the actual concept, what is happening inside the system. I just used that software alone. But this is what actually happening inside the system. Once you understand the logic, you can easily find the error. One of the major problem when you are using in any programming language is debugging. You will get an error, then you have to find out where is the error, how to remove that error, how to find the exact result. So that is possible once you understand the logic. Imagine there is a triangle here. So this is a centroid. Now I have removed top portion, this portion, but still you will get a centroid on the same line because I have removed equal amount on both sides. So still CG lies along the line. Now this is low. Now take medium. Remove top portion. So where is the centroid? Along the symmetric. So centroid lies always on the symmetric. That's why I have written two vertical lines. This is vertical line 1. This is vertical line 2. Now I am combining these two triangles. See, this is triangle 1. This is triangle 2. Now I am combining these two triangles. So what will happen? The CG lies somewhere in between. So this is 15. This is a triangle. When you add two triangles together, triangle 1, then triangle 2, then the CG lies somewhere in between. So that's why I said that CG lies somewhere here. Imagine you take this line as a CG. We need to find out that line. So this is D1, distance 1. This is D2. So I'm going to generate two equations. Let me erase everything. So equation number 1, D1 plus D2 equal to 30. Sorry, 15. Why it is 15? 30 minus 15, 15. Then second equation, 0.4 times of D1 equal to 0.7 times of D2. Okay, so from that I can get another equation. 0.4 D1 minus 0.7 D2 equal to 0. So two equations, two unknown. We can easily solve and find answer for this problem. So it's very simple. You can easily do that. Okay, so this is how we have to do defuzzification. You will get an answer close to 23. So that value of 23 will come outside of defuzzification. That will move into, so 23 will come outside of defuzzification. So that will goes into plant. Plant means motor. There is a motor here. It will control the speed of the motor. So this is how you have to apply fuzzy logic in real world. I will give you one demonstration in MATLAB. Before that, I want to quickly show you some advantages. So this is how the conventional system look like. A physical system, we need to develop model, then we have to apply controller, algorithm, everything. Whereas in fuzzy, the entire process will be simplified. Physical system, you directly apply rules. There is no need of model. It's a model based. This is model free. Model free. For example, automatic transmission system, CVT. They are using fuzzy logic. So how human change gears with respect to speed. So there are 5 gears. So we normally change gears when the speed changes. So there must be a logic, right? In automatic transmission, there must be a logic. So there we normally use fuzzy logic. So wherever human is used, if you want to replace a human and want to make it as an automatic one, then you can use fuzzy. Okay. And I will show you the demonstration in MATLAB. So this is a MATLAB software. Do you need a MATLAB introduction? Maybe I will ask at the end of this section. I think time 11:20. I have 10 more minutes. First, I will show you the demo of fuzzy logic. Afternoon, I will show you how to use MATLAB for the remaining. Sorry. Type fuzzy. This is MATLAB 2014 version. You will get a window like this. So this is a fuzzy logic. There are many optimization tools already available in MATLAB, so that you can easily use MATLAB for your research work. Mostly MATLAB for interdisciplinary work, mechanical, electrical, mechatronics, automobile. If you want to combine multidisciplinary, you can go with. So see here, here we have neural network. These are all neural network related tool, curve fitting, control system, image processing. Maybe afternoon we will discuss about neural network and other tools. So when you type fuzzy, it will open a window like this. So I'm going to map. So see here, it's by default, it's a single input, single output system. You can select different input and output. It's a Mamtani based fuzzy controller. There are two types of fuzzy logic, type 1 and type 2. So what I have explained today is type 1. Type 2 is different. Okay, let me make it as temperature. Temperature is my input. Now you can see that temperature. What is my output? Speed. Speed of the fan. That's it. And select temperature or speed. Here you can select what kind of defuzzification method. There is no need to worry about how to find D1, D2 value. This is a toolbox. It will automatically find and it will give you the result. But you must know what is happening inside that centroid function. So I have selected centroid. There are many methods. There is some limitation for each method. Depending upon your application, you have to select a different defuzzification method. Select temperature. When you select temperature, you will get a window like this. Okay, so temperature, speed. Here you have to set the speed. Temperature. First, select this line. What is the actual value we have used? We'll show you my presentation. This is what we have used, fuzzification. Let me take this one here. I will keep it here. Okay. So I need to make this one -1, 0, maximum -0.5. Select membership function 1. First name that membership function as high, medium. We will take it as high, medium, low. High. Just type high and click outside. Here you can see high. So what is the starting value? Starting value -1, -0.5, 0. So type those values here. -1 space -0.5 space 0. And press enter. -1 -0.5. Okay, then select second value. Type -0.5. Sorry, -0.5. 0 plus 0.5. Yes, before that we have to set this range 0 to 1. Instead of 0 to 1, make it as -1 to 1. Because see the range, this is -1, this is +1. This is +1. Participant, this is +1. Okay. Set the range. And here also it is -1 to +1. I think just a minute. Let me open once again. Let me close this file. Let me open fuzzy once again. Input temperature, output speed, and select temperature. Here, range -1 to +1. Okay, now you will get a window like this. Again, go to speed, make the range as -1 to +1. Okay, now come back to temperature, select MF1, make it as high. Here, -1, -0.5, 0. Okay, so now you see that -1, here -0.5, 0. Next, select MF2. make it as medium, whatever the name you want, you can give. Then change the parameters. So it will start from minus 0.5, 0 plus 0.5. That's it. The next one, next parameter, M of 3, high, sorry, low, high, medium, low. Make it as low. Select this parameter. Starts from 0, 0.5, 1. Then press enter. So this is the same curve. So this is what I have shown here. Both are same. Okay, the major disadvantage of fuzzy logic, if you see, you have used fuzzy logic, but still you want to optimize fuzzy logic using other technique like genetic algorithm, neural network. So what do you do normally? You will change the range. So why it is -1 to +1? What will happen when I change it to -10 to +10? So that you can do it in another optimization method. Okay, again go to speed.
Sir, this output.
Yes.
Sir, output the speed
Yes.
is the range of the speed is 0 to 60, I think, sir, or -1 to +1, sir.
So 0 to 60, because we can't give speed in minus.
But you have to you have entered the 0 -1 to +1, sir.
Oh, that is temperature.
Temperature, okay, sir.
Yes. Now I'm going to change it.
Okay.
Okay, now I'm going to change it. So select membership function, speed as low. There are some values which lies minus to plus, like error. If, for example, speed, it is possible only in positive. There is no speed called negative, because fan can run at 0 to high speed or 0 minimum speed. It won't run in reverse direction. So in that case, you can take 0 to 30 as low speed. So now here, range we have to fix. Trial and error, we can change those values. That is why it is called knowledge representation. We designer have to choose that range. Suppose, sir, I'm not able to select the range. Is there any better range? Then you have to combine it with other technique. You have to use neural network, genetic algorithm, some other technique to find the range. 0, 15, then 30. Sometimes you may ask, sir, how do I know that value 0 to 60? See, you have to fix that value. That represent maximum and minimum limit. You take all the real world data, it has a maximum and minimum limit. Imagine you have a car, it may run at maximum 200 kilometers per hour. It will never go beyond 200 kilometers per hour. Again, voltage 0 to 230 volt. Current 0 to 5 amps. So like that, there is a lower and upper limit for every data. Even marks, student can minimum score 0 mark, maximum they can score 100. They can't score 110, 120, 130 like that for 100. So in that case, that range only we are fixing 0, 15, 30. So this is for low, I think 0, 50, 30. So in that case, we have to give 0 to 60. This range, we have to make it as 0, 60. Okay. Then select low, because it will change once 0, 15, 30. Then medium, 15. I think time we have another for 3 minutes. Okay. 15, 30, 45. We will get medium value. Then high. So 30, 45, 60. That's it. That range you can fix it. So now close this file. So coming back to this file. So this is an actual file. So now you have value. You can save this file. Before that, let me reduce my presentation. Here you have MATLAB. So this is a file. Now I'm going to save this file. File, export to file. So what is the file name? I'm going to save this file in desktop under the name of temperature control. TEMP. Okay. Temperature. We will use the name temperature. So now I have saved that file. Okay, but still there is no file in workspace, which means again I have to transfer this file to workspace. Temperature, name temperature. Now you can see there is a file called temperature in workspace. Now I'm going to check the result. For that I'm going to use the command evolve fis. Okay, what is my temperature? So that just now we have solved the problem. Okay, in this problem, so what is the value? We have used 0.2. So take that value 0.2. Apply 0.2 on temperature. Okay, now it will give you the result. I mean temperature dot fis. We are applying that 0.2 value on the saved file temperature. Then we would like to see the result in the command window. Evolve fis. No, temperature alone enough. This. Just a minute. Oh, just a minute. We have to save this file. Export to workspace. We will make it as T. So now we have a file in workspace. So evolve fis. I need an answer for 0.1 minus 0.1 in T. Evolve fis. Why it is showing error? Single input, single output. Maybe I will show you my file, another file. Temperature control. Here I have fan file. Let me move that file to desktop. Just a minute. Okay, now I have a file, same file. So whatever the file I have created, I have already created. Now I'm going to open that file. Let me close this file. Fuzzy, because I already saved that file. Okay, file, import from file. Desktop, I have a file name of fan. Open that file. Okay, so here I have fan, error, voltage. I think we made mistake because we forgot to add rules. So here you have to add rules. I think we are running out of time, so I will explain the rules. See why I'm getting error? Because I didn't include rules. If error is low, voltage is low. If error is medium, voltage is medium. If error is high, then voltage is high. Or if temperature is low, then speed is low. If temperature is medium, then speed is medium. If temperature is high, then speed is high. Like that you have to give. Let me add one more rule, then I will delete that rule. For example, if error is medium, then voltage is medium. You just select that parameter, then click on add rule. That will add. So fourth one. Okay, now I want to delete that rule. So now I have deleted that rule. Okay, so that's it. That's why I'm not getting answer. So now let me transfer this to workspace, fan. Now I got fan here. So now I'm going to evolve fis. It's a command used to see the output. I'm getting a result of 0.2. What is the output? If I am getting an error of minus 0.2, then what is the speed? T. Sorry, fan. Okay. Now you are getting an answer of minus 20.9204. Okay, so this value lies in between 15.2. If you take that diagram here, this is 15, this is 30, so it lies somewhere in between 15 to 30. So that value is 20.92. Suppose if it is 0.1, what is the value? You will get close to 23. Sorry, not 23, minus 11.9072. So this is a value of speed that will come outside of fuzzy logic. So only thing why I'm getting this continuous error, because I forgot to add rules. So go to edit, add there is an option called rules. So here you have to add rules. So I already added. If error is low, then voltage is low. If error is medium, then voltage is medium. See, error equivalent to temperature, voltage equivalent to speed. So speed means what? How do you control the speed? Through voltage only you will control the speed. So if you want voltage, you can go with voltage. If you want temperature, then you can go with temperature. Only thing is the range will differ slightly. That's it. But temperature almost proportional to speed. Again, speed proportional to voltage. Okay, so this is how you can execute fuzzy logic in MATLAB. So that's it about my presentation. And one more thing, I think we are running out of time. So this is a representation. If there is a two variable, then you can represent like this. You have to draw a matrix, then you have to explain everything. Okay, so that's it about my presentation. If you have any questions, you can ask me now.
Participants, the session is now open to questions. You may ask the questions now.
Regarding fuzzy logic. So do you have any questions? Then afternoon, I will show you how to use MATLAB for doing optimizations related work, like conventional optimization and other things. And there is an optimization toolbox in MATLAB. We can use that toolbox. Now in 2020 version, there are a lot of improvement. Okay, even multi-objective also they have given algorithm. So there is no need to write conventional C program. You can select drop-down option. You can directly work on this. Then I will show you how to solve one neural network problem in MATLAB. Because for intelligent techniques, MATLAB or some other programming language is compulsory. Without that, you can't do anything. Maybe in classical techniques, there are some theorems. You can do some manual calculation. You can produce result even in Excel sheet. But here, you can't use Excel and all those stuff. So you need to know at least any one programming language to go with all those things. So that's it about my presentation.
So there is no questions, means we'll wind up the session, sir.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I would like to ask one more thing. So how many of you already know MATLAB? Do you need an introduction about MATLAB in the afternoon section? Otherwise, we can directly go to optimization problems. I just want to know there is answer in the command box. My question is, do you need an introduction for MATLAB? Say yes or no. Yes means you need an introduction, some basic. Okay, you don't need any introduction. No means directly we can. Anyway, even that introduction I can give only 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, I can't give what is MATLAB on everything about MATLAB for 1 hour. Totally we have 1.5 hours. So first maybe 20 to 25 minutes I will explain what features are available in the new versions and all those stuff. Then directly we will go to that optimization problems.
Sure,
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you, sir. I got some response. Based on that, I will decide.
Sure, sir. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So the session was really interesting, sir, and informative. And the insights about the fuzzy logic and merits and demerits will surely help the participants to apply that for their research problems. So really, it was interesting. And with this, I would like to thank the resource person, Dr. Sendil Kumar, sir, on behalf of Sri Shanwa College of Engineering and Technology. And on behalf of our beloved participants, we are very grateful to have you for this session, sir. I thank you on that. So the next session, it will start by 12, and so the details relevant to sessions will be shared through the WhatsApp group, and then I will be sharing the feedback form, and the participants are required to fill those things. And with this, we'll wind up the session. Thank you.